Hey world, it's your girl Kasira Elvie and welcome to The Truth Podcast. Now, let me tell you something. The Truth Podcast show will serve as a platform for inspirational women and men to share their personal stories and testimonies by embracing diverse perspectives and experiences from all walks of life. This podcast fosters a community of healing and growth. And my mission is to provide a space for individuals to find solace and inspiration in the powerful narratives of others who have overcome adversity. In addition to feature inspirational stories, I shed light on various organizations making a difference within our community and offer valuable resources to support listeners on their personal journey towards healing. Now, if you have a story that you feel is powerful and inspirational, then make sure that you contact me at truthpodcastshow.com and let's talk about you being a guest on our show as well. All right, I'm your girl, Kasira Elvie. Make sure you tune in Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. Peace out. What up, world? It's your girl, Kasira Elvie, and this is The Truth Podcast. We're here another Monday, you all. Let me tell you, I am super excited. As you know, I told you I had surgery, and I have been I've been released from the doctor, so to walk. He's been able to let me walk, and I've been doing it for the last almost 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. Time is flying now. And so I really haven't been doing anything, you all. I haven't been able, anybody know I love to volunteer, I love to help out. So this weekend was my busy weekend and it was great. I have to tell you all, Dr. Shaniqua Jones, she's been on my show and she has a healing retreat. And so I was there. This is the second one I've been to. And when I tell you, people that are looking to heal, people are looking to find like-minded people that are both on the same page about just going through this healing journey. It is for you. She's having one in October, and I am going to be letting you all know the closer it comes. Matter of fact, maybe because I know that she just opened up registration where you can go ahead and get your tickets. But I'm telling you guys, you all got to go. It was amazing. And I met some amazing women again we had the same stories. Also being older and having grown up kids now too. My kids are older. Well, half of my kids, And so just hearing other young ladies around the same age as my son and my oldest son and my oldest daughter, it was just an eye opener because it made me, reevaluate myself. Because as a parent, I pride myself on being this, I don't want to say stern, but I'm all about making sure I teach you the morals and values of life, making sure that you are a good person, getting your education on, I'm just like, do, right? And what I'm learning in the generation, in my kids' generation, that they can't really take all of that sternness, right? And we look at it sometimes, we say, oh, y'all not tough like us, and just hearing other people around that age, young people, it just made me really look, because when we were young and our elders was on us, back then it was, stay in a child's place, don't spread business, whatever's done in the home stays in the home. And that cause issues in our adult life. And then we come to this generation now where we're open now. We're telling our truth. And our kids, they already like, hey, I'm going to tell it all. I don't have no secrets. And it was just really good, you all. I really, really enjoyed it. I just, because I've done it and because I know it worked, because it worked for me. And I just got to share it because I know it would have blessed someone else. And it's not just for adults; it's also for children. They have everything for each age: adult, children. And when I tell you, it was from 10 to 6. It seems like that's a long time, but when you're in that environment, in that safe space, time just flows. Like you don't even realize when you say, "Oh, it's time to go already." You don't even want to leave because it's just so much love and it's so much just healing. And even the Holy Spirit was in the room, right? And we had people that were just suffering in silence and hearing somebody else's story help them. And that is there's another reason why I have this podcast. I know it works. I know it works hearing somebody else's story, finding out that you're not alone, knowing that there's someone else out there that has gone through the same thing I'm going through or been through, or even think like I think. You know, sometimes I feel like, nobody thinks like me. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So I just have to tell you all that. And I'm putting it out there. Y'all know when I be saying I put it out there, I don't know how it's going to happen. I just trust in God and it happens, right? So you know that I talk about how I am a community activist out in the Kankakee area. And so I live, not ashamed, I live in low income housing. We got a community, right? And so I love my community and they love me. And even the Kankakee area, just the Kankakee County area, of anybody that is in need, right? I am planning a community giveaway event June 14th. Yes, June 14th in the afternoon. The giveaway in my vision is I want to have clothes and shoes, men, women, children, and babies. I want to have cleaning products, personal hygiene, housing items. I mean, people need. If you got an old coffee maker that you don't need, you don't use anymore because you bought you a brand new one, bring it. Or if you have a toaster or a air fryer that you don't use anymore because you don't upgrade it and it's usable. Now we don't talk about we don't you giving on no broke stuff, but I'm telling you all this because I need your help, and I know, and I have seen it many times before. When I ask for help, it comes. So if you hear me out here and you know someone or yourself, whether you're a man or woman, or you have children that don't have got some clothes you want to give away, or baby things. Even I have somebody already, but I'll still take. We're talking about cribs, walkers, playpens, bassinets, whatever, bottles if it's still in good use, right? I mean, just anything we can think of, I will take. Now, you know, my contact information is at the bottom of the screen. Please let me know. And I'm going to tell you all this. I have to convict myself. I am better, by the way. I have to convict myself. Better at making sure I check my emails, my phone calls, my DMs, because you all do hit me up. So I have to say publicly, I apologize. I apologize. But one thing about it, I'm still here and I can do better, and I am doing better. So if you have any items that is still in good condition, usable, or if you want to buy something, that'd be great. Please let me know. I am having this event June 14th. I am in the planning. I'm in the midst of planning right now, literally. Like I already talked to some people, some different organizations. And if you have an organization and you would like to come out and support and, you know, spread out your resources, what you do, what your organization does that would help the community, all is welcome. So like I said, June 14th, I will be having a community giveaway event. All right. So yeah, make sure you contact me if you have anything you want to go ahead and donate. Now, we all know that it is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, right? We're at the end, a few more days, and I just thought that it was perfect to have this inspirational woman that I met maybe last year. And what I love to go to different women events or just different organizations that have events where you network, you meet people. And I met this wonderful lady. And I was talking a little bit about my podcast, and she wanted to come, and I was elated that she wanted to come on. And so this is another episode or show where some of these things may be sensitive to others. So I just want to just give you a warning that we're not trying to trigger anybody, or we're just spreading a story and it may help someone. So just letting you know that this will be a sensitive episode, but I think it's going to be wonderful, healing, and just bring awareness to some things that we probably never thought about. So with all that being said, I would love to introduce our inspirational woman of the evening, Danielle Wells.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming on my show. I'm
No,
super
it is
excited.
an honor to be on your show, girl. We've been planning this thing for so long, and it's finally here.
Yes, finally. But you know what? It was in God's planning. It wasn't
Exactly.
the time,
And
right? What we talking
timing.
about? Yes. So we're gonna jump right into it. Famous question: who is Danielle?
Well, Danielle is a chef. Danielle is a survivor. Danielle is a wife and a mom.
Okay, you say you a survivor. So just so we can just go ahead and go through your life a little bit, can you just start off with telling us how was your upbringing? Like, were you in a two-parent household or a single-parent household?
So, I grew up with two drug addicted parents. Both of my parents, my mom and dad, was addicted to heroin. Unfortunately, fortunately, my dad ended up cleaning up his life, and he went on to get married. My mom, it took her a little bit longer, but she finally got it together. So, growing up with parents who were addicted was very, very hard. So, I would say it was
Traumatic.
traumatic childhood for sure.
Did you so were you living with your parents or either one of your parents during this?
When I was younger, I lived with both of my parents. They were together for 16 years. So I did maybe around 8 years old, my dad left. But yes, up until then, it was a two-parent home.
Oh wow. So while they were dealing with their addiction as a child, did you have to basically take care of yourself? Did you have other siblings?
So I had an older sister, but you know how that goes. Like your older sister, she got her own thing going on. And
Hmm.
a lot of time, yes, I was taking care of myself. I was even taking care of my parents sometimes. So, like I said, it was very chaotic. It was a chaotic household. It wasn't a lot of love. It was a lot of closed doors. It was a lot of me being alone. And so, it was very traumatic for me
Wow.
growing.
So with that traumatic, tell us a little bit about your adult life, like from dealing with the trauma that you were dealing with through your childhood. How did that bring you up to your adult life? Like that was an impact? Was it a positive impact for you to be different, or did that also make you go down another road, the wrong road?
Well, I'm glad you asked because a lot of people, some people can, live in traumatic households and they can go down the right path. Unfortunately, that wasn't the situation with me. I was very depressed as a teenager. I had a lot of trauma to deal with emotionally. I was also abused as a teenager. So growing up, it was like um, I didn't really have any positive things.
Hmm.
So it was easier for me to get trapped or for me to be naive. And I was very naive and looking for love. So it was easy for me to be manipulated growing up. And that came over into my teenage years
Yeah.
to my adulthood.
So you say you was abused as a teenager. Like, what type of abuse did you have to experience?
So even as a kid, I was molested, and that all goes back to what happens in the house stays in the house.
Mhm.
So I never really told anyone. That was something that I held in for a very long time. It was a family member who sexually assaulted me and actually ultimately took my virginity. So that was a secret. That was like something that was forbidden. And even in my adulthood, with coming out with it, I still, um, I don't feel like there was support.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, when you say support, like from other family members, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Family members, I feel like it was like, you shouldn't have said that, you know? Like I had, even after so much time has passed, right? It's like it was still something I shouldn't have brought up.
because almost like you bringing embarrassment and shame to the
Yeah.
what they probably perceive to be.
Like, why didn't you, if you didn't, it's like almost like people don't understand people that suffer with trauma. They, you know, it's like, well, why didn't you tell anybody? But you really don't know what you'll do or if you would tell anybody until it happened to you, right?
Yeah,
It's just like, it's just weird.
yeah. No, I can understand that because we had one we had a guest on our show and we was talking about her, and she was talking about the reason why she didn't say anything because she wanted to protect her mom, because
Yeah,
her mom probably would have went crazy and she could have jeopardized losing her mom. And when somebody said, I was like, wow,
yeah,
so many reasons. I've never thought of it as like I'm protecting somebody that could protect me, but because I'm scared of the outcome
yeah.
and I
So,
want to keep you. I'm
so
just
if we really want to go deep into it, you know, my uncle actually told me if I was to tell my mom, he would kill her. So, you know, it's just, it's some sick people. And, you know, when you're a child, and sometimes even adults, I'm not just going to say children, right? Because women get raped so much and they feel like they can't tell anybody. They feel ashamed. It's so much that come with being violated. And
yeah.
so people always want to say, like, why didn't you say anything? But it's not always easy to admit that this happened to you.
No. And you know what? To say this now, it's not a secret. Like, but I don't talk about it. Like, I didn't have wasn't in a space where it was brought up. But I remember when I had a boyfriend, right, and wasn't even sexually active, and I snuck out the house,
Mm-hmm.
and he forced himself on me, right. Somehow, some way, thank God, I was able to get away, but I was violated. But I didn't want to say nothing because why? I snuck out the house. My mama, I know how my mama is. I don't want to get beat down. So I kept it in for so long.
Yes.
And I think I was in my 20s. I was at work and I haven't seen him I haven't seen him because he was older than me in high school. And when I seen him, the feeling,
Yeah.
like it's crazy. Like you done got over, you done live your life.
Yeah.
But you see the person that victimized you, you like
Yeah.
shut down. So
Like
yeah.
almost like reliving it all again, you know? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, because it is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, one of the reasons why I'm glad that you're on here and you stated that you are a survivor, and now we know a survivor in many things of life. You don't look like what you've been through.
Yes.
Don't know. Um, we want to talk about how me and you even met. Speaking about you being a survivor from being a victim of sex trafficking.
Yes. So I'm
That.
we started with my childhood, right?
Mhm.
Because what I want to make reference to is that um, human trafficking, people sometimes they don't understand what it really is. Okay, human trafficking, there is a lot of different categories when you talk about human trafficking,
Okay.
because you look and you think about a prostitute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think that, well, she want to sell her body. She's a prostitute or she's an escort, right? But these are people, these are women, these are men, these are children that are actually victims of human sex trafficking. Well, why do you say that, Danielle? I say that because nobody wakes up and say, I want to be a prostitute. Okay? Nobody formulates that idea when they're a kid. We all wanted to be what? Teachers, doctors, lawyers, firefighters, things like that, right?
Yeah.
if we go back to my childhood, right? When I was just saying how I was molested as a child. Well, sex to me was something that was, what word could I use? Just, it was like something that, you know, um,
Like a routine, something you.
yeah, like maybe like a chore.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good way.
Right? It was something I had to do when I was a kid to survive, because if I had opened my mouth, something bad was gonna happen to me, right? And that's what I was told, right? And that's what I believed. So even when in my adulthood, when I met this guy, I'm just going to go into the story right now. When I met this guy and he told me that in order for, he loved me and he was my man. He wasn't my pimp. He wasn't none of that. Like in my mind, what he told me, I thought we were boyfriend and girlfriend. And so in order to make him happy, this was something that I needed to do, right? I needed to go and sell my body. I'm not understanding that I'm being sex trafficked. I'm not understanding that I'm being manipulated. I'm not understanding because what I longed for was love, right? And
Mm,
so he was giving me what I needed. And so I needed to please him so he wouldn't stop loving me.
yeah.
And so it's like, now I'm doing this and everybody's thinking that I'm a prostitute, but I'm thinking that I'm doing what I have to do for my man, right? I'm confused now. So now you then took my whole identity, the little bit of identity that I had, because I didn't really know who I was.
Yeah.
I was traumatized as a kid. It started then. So
Mm-hmm.
it was easy for me to be manipulated. And so we have to, and I stress this, like we really have to be careful with judging people and looking at how it looks on the outside. Because listen, we can dress up a garbage can, okay?
Yeah.
But the truth, when you open up the garbage can, it stink, right? It's dirty, it's nasty.
Yeah.
So, it's like, let me just say this. I was so um brainwashed. I was so brainwashed that this thing went from level A to level Z so quick. Like I had ended up in different cities. I had ended up in different states. Um and it was against my will at some point, because I got tired of, just one more time. I got tired of, baby, come on, just this one more time. It was too frequent, right? And
Yeah.
I began to try to voice myself. That's when the humiliation, the beatings, the verbal abuse, the physical, all of that stuff came with it. And so it was really rough.
Right. Were you so when your then significant other, did he try to isolate you, or were you able to still like see family, friends?
So in the beginning, I was still able to see family and friends. And eventually, it didn't take long. I want to say maybe a month into it, I was isolated. And it was so crazy because I didn't even know I was, right? I was in prison
Yeah.
and I didn't even know I was in prison.
Mm-hmm. You right, because when they love bomb you, you
Yeah.
already, like you say, I don't know, I passed on like, you gotta get on brainwashed. And I was like, what? I brainwash? And I was, because you're right, it's one of those, you're still trying to please them and especially get back those first 30 days. Because when you said a month, I was like, dang, that's about that
That's
much.
about right.
Yes. And it started off slow. But like you said, once you start voicing, that's when once you was like, whatever you like, it was cool. But it was like, wait a minute, broken. Baby. Yeah.
He felt like he had to break me.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Because okay, manipulation ain't working now. So now I need to physically do some harm to show her that I'm not playing. And so now the boyfriend is gone. And now I face my abuser.
Mm, mm, mm.
And now I haven't talked to my family. I haven't talked to my friends. So I'm stuck, right? Because don't nobody want me. Don't nobody love me. Ain't nobody thinking about me. Don't nobody miss you. You know all that good stuff that they say.
Yep.
And I'm talking about they say it and you actually believe it.
Or you should be hanging around there because see they this that they do this. And you be like, maybe you right. You
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So I got another question. Now that you know that you're in it, did he ever bring other women too, or was it just you?
Absolutely. So there was other women. It didn't make it no easier for me. It was still the same. As a matter of fact, let's just be transparent. Um, the woman that was a different shade was treated better,
Wow.
you know? And so now I'm looking like, girl, you a queen. But I'm stuck because
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared. Now I'm scared, you know?
Yeah.
Be like, well, you had the opportunity to leave so many times. But in your mind, you are in jail. You don't think about the opportunity. It has to be literally something, I want to say, a spiritual awakening, okay? That's what I really want to say it was for me. Because my mind was stuck on really what everything he said is true. I haven't talked to my family. Where am I going to go?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Where am I going?
Mm-hmm.
Got me in a whole nother city. How am I going to get home? And not only do you have me in a whole nother city, but now I have an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got me two different ways because you made sure that I had an addiction. And so now you made sure you supplied everything so that I can, won't be,
You don't.
yeah. And so now you're controlling me, mind, body, and spirit.
Mm, that's deep.
I'm stuck.
Well, let me ask you this too, then. So, because it was other women and y'all was together, was there a did y'all ever form a bond, or was it a competition? How was that with the other women?
So it depended on the woman. It was a couple, so it was maybe about 5 or 6 of us. So it was like yes, it was 5 or 6 of us, and so um, some of us formed a bond, and then some of us we didn't because the whole game of it is who's gonna be queen for the day. Who's gonna do the best. Who's not. Who's gonna
Yeah.
make him so happy. So now everybody is at odds, except for the ones who are already ready to just like give up. Now, those are the ones that are like not competing, trying to figure out how to get out.
That,
Yeah.
that's something because sometimes as when we think about women, yeah, we know we hear a lot about people being catty. We do hear women being catty, but and if well, see here, the person that ain't been through it, I would think like, well, why couldn't y'all just bond together and like it's 6 of y'all and it's one him?
Because somebody's brainwashed
Cause somebody's brain.
or the other one. He know which one gonna do what because he's brainwashing us. He's transforming us to be what we need to be for him. So he's already if one person, it's 5 of us. So if 2 of us agree to take him down, the other 3 are like, I'm telling on y'all. So
Yeah,
like what's going on? And it's crazy, right? Because we're all adult women at this time
yeah, yeah.
who
Well,
know deep down inside somewhere in our mind that this just ain't right. But again, this stems from childhood. What I didn't get in my childhood, it led me to make some poor decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, I ended up somewhere I didn't want to be, you know, and that's the truth.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we're going to be back with Danielle Wells. Catch you in a few. Hey world, it's your girl Kasira Elvie from the Truth Podcast Show. Next 2 Mondays on the 5th and the 12th of May, we won't have a show, but we will be back May 19th. Catch you then. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're going to have on May 19th our favorite therapist, Khalid Scott, in the building. So make sure you tune in and share. Our topic will be men in color and mental health. I'll catch you then. Radical Blessings Inc. presents Feeding with Love Community Outreach. Hot meals served to the homeless. Saturday, May 17th at 3 p.m. Would you like to volunteer or donate to support this mission? We welcome your help. Every donation makes a difference. If you are interested, you can contact Danielle 872-214-3953 and follow them on Facebook. Are you looking for a caterer to cater your next coming event or party? Danielle's Delicious Kitchen, always full of flavor. Contact Danielle 872-214-3953. Discover the perfect opportunity to promote your business, organization, or event with the Truth Podcast Show. If you're interested in expanding your reach and gaining more attention, we'd love to hear from you. To learn more and explore collaboration possibilities, please reach out to us at 708-250-5715 or email truthpodcastshow@gmail.com. Don't miss out on this chance to elevate your brand and connect with our engaging audience. Help is here. This is your girl Kasira Elvie from the Truth Podcast Show. We have a couple of things that you can check out if you know someone or if you are self-harming yourself and you are looking to be set free. Here are some websites, organizations, helplines, and apps that can help you out. Talk to you later. All right, welcome back to the Truth Podcast Show. Our inspirational woman of the evening is Danielle Wells. And I'm telling you guys, first of all, when I go on commercial break, I like to go in the comments. I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you share, because I just think I love your story. And so I think this will shed light on a lot of people that are even judgmental, because I've been judgmental. I done said, girl, please, you could have did this. Until, well, in the domestic violence world, I understand now, but even then, I will be saying what I don't understand about human sex trafficking. Like, why didn't you leave? How did you stay? And these were the questions I asked, but you're answering them, because when I think about what I went through, even though it's different, it's still same, it's still abuse. I understand you. Like, I understand why you stay. Like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So when we left off, I was asking you about the women, and that you brought light to me too, and that's just it's mind-boggling, because you like you said, everybody brainwashed, and it's what their trauma was as a child, why they're doing what they're doing. And then you know what I think about you? When we be so in love with these men, we tell it all. We
Yeah.
give them all the tea of what they got to do to keep us to, and let me say this, because you were so vulnerable like that in the present time, do you still struggle or well, I don't know if you do. Let me not act like I do know. Do you struggle with trusting others still, or have you been healed enough where you're able to trust and love again, like, be vulnerability.
Okay, well, let me just say this. I want to say that fortunately, the spirit that I have and the God that I serve, he won't allow me to not be to be trusting. He won't allow me to harden my heart. He won't allow me to do it. And so, even though I've been through so much, I am like such free-hearted and friendly and open to like everybody still. And so I think that that's just God's glory on me, because anybody who experienced what I did probably wouldn't. But that's part of my purpose. And so even though it was, I was in the desert, but God threw a ram in the book. I seen the ram. But it's like, even, you got to take what you went through, and you got to know that that was God's purpose for your life, and that you got to make lemonade out of lemons.
And your smile and well, I met you personally, right? The first time I met you, I loved you. But your smile and your aura, what you give off this love, peaceful, accepting type of spirit, you
Yeah.
know. And while we talk about, how long were you in this relationship?
So 8 years.
8 years.
Hmm.
Can we talk about? I remember our seniors. Can we talk about? Well, I guess you answered it, but I still want to bring it up. Maybe you can re-answer it in another way. Because I asked, we was talking, he was like, you would be amazed how many people you could be working. That could be at your grocery store, that could be your cashier, your clerk, and they are victim of sex trafficking. So tell us a little bit about that. Like,
Yeah. So I'm glad, just because that I really wanted to touch on that point. I had several jobs. And nobody knew that when I got off of work, I went home and I walked the streets. I went to hotels. I went to houses. I was being human, sex trafficked. Nobody knew that. Like, I was your regular cashier at the dollar store. I was your regular bag girl at the jewels. Like, you don't know what people are going through. I'm going to say that again. You just never know what somebody is going through, okay? Like I said, we as people, we are the best at covering up things, okay? When we don't want somebody to know something, they
right.
won't know it,
Yep, you're right.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, women who are in sex trafficking or in domestic violence relationships, they don't want anybody to know that. It is shameful. It is embarrassing,
Yeah.
hurtful. And so we dress up that garbage can. And so just because I look good and I smell good and I don't look like a prostitute, it don't mean that I'm not. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that somebody is not abusing me. It doesn't mean I'm not in a domestic relationship. It doesn't mean because I don't come in here with a black eye, or nobody put me in a minivan and drove me away, that I wasn't a victim. So
Mm-hmm.
it looks, that's what people think about. The first thing they think,
I
they
would.
say human sex trafficking.
Yeah, I did
They
too.
thinking about somebody grabbed you up, put
Yep.
you in, they tied you. See, that's the movies, right? And we get caught up on what we see, but it's the behind the scenes stuff. Like, come on, baby, just do this for me this one time. You know, we need to make this money. I'm going to take care of everything after this. I just need you to do this one thing. I love you. You love me. We're going to get married. You know that. I want to have my kids. You know, all
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's ear delicious that we want to hear.
Yep.
And
Man.
so, you know, what does it look like? It looked like me. It looked like me. You know, it looked like me because there is no look.
Mm. There is no look.
There is no look.
Y'all hear that? That is so powerful right there. There is no look. Because like you say, especially women, we know how to cover it up very well. Matter of fact, we will be bragging and boasting and praising our men to other so
Mhm.
they don't get an inkling.
Yes, with a big smile on our face. We got our good makeup on, our nice outfits, our nice heels. We all did up. And when we go home, it's horrible.
It's horrible. People, when everything came out with me and the husband, I remember his father came to me when I tried to, because you know sometimes when you're ready to open up, you're just trying to figure out why they're doing this, why it happened. And his father said, "You know what? I envied your relationship. We had other people that loved us
Yeah.
together, thought we was the best couple. So when this happened, they're like, what? Oh, wait a minute. Now you said he was this though.
Yeah.
So again, why you be scared to reveal things? Because we did say, well, this king was the almighty good king to me, baby. He loved me. If
Hmm.
you come out, they be like, but that's
Right.
but at this though. So how can I believe you? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And we never want to tell our family, especially stuff about, you know, somebody that we think we in love with because they hold that stuff like we might argue today and then we might be in love tomorrow. But
Yeah.
with your family, you know, that's an image you can't repaint.
Okay.
You just can't. And so, and then, like I said, when you in human sex trafficking and you are being brainwashed, you're not gonna tell anybody. It's gonna take something very dramatic, very tragic. It's gonna take God Himself to remove you out of that situation.
Well, you tell us, how did God remove you? I think she got bumped out. That's okay, y'all. So we're gonna keep on flowing. But anyway, so some of the things that she said is my and it opens up my eyes because I just think like how judgmental I was and what I thought human sex trafficking was. And I tell you all, sometimes we don't even think about it until we see something on the news. And like she said, that's my thing. My what I think. Oh, I saw somebody drive past or somebody got snatched up. We always hear that even on the news, you know, so and then like she said, in movies. So it makes me think that that's how it is. Cause I know even with my kids, watch out for these cars, y'all. Don't do this, don't do that. And like she said, it started off with that was my boyfriend. And when you think about like, how can somebody that say they love you do that to you? Because I'm thinking, if he's doing this, what happened to him in his childhood? The trauma that he went through to be like this towards women. That's deep. Now I want her. We're waiting for her to come back on. We're gonna wait for her to come back on. But I also want to just bring up some things that Danielle does. And one of the things she said, and I think the camera kind of blanked out when she said, but she's a chef. And so she started her own catering business, as you saw in a commercial. It is Danielle's Delicious Kitchen. I've tasted her food. It is good. So, if you're looking for a caterer, I'm just I think about it. I got a lot of good friends that cook good and they're some good chefs. I was talking about you. I'm sorry being a chef while we waiting for you to come back on. But let's just go back to what I was asking you before we you got cut off. You were saying it has to be a spirit, nothing but God. So you tell us, What did God do for you? How did you get out of that relationship?
So there was this place called Miss Carly's Place.
What it was? You went out. What was
It
it
was
called?
called Miss Carly's Place.
Miss Carly's place. Okay.
And what she provided at her center was a safe place for homeless, streetwalkers, people that were drug addicted. Anything, in all walks of life was welcome in her center. And she would give us lunch, she would give us breakfast, she would give us dinner, hygiene products, personals, everything, right? Gift cards. And she would always say, Danielle, when you ready, I'm here. And I never was really ready. And one day I went there, and before she could even say it, I wasn't even sure if I was telling her a lie or I was telling her the truth, because it was like a spare the moment decision. I said, please get me out of here.
Mm.
Please. I cannot go back. If I go back, I'm going to die. And she said, well, I can't get you a hotel room and I can't get you out of here until in the morning. She said, what are you going to do until the morning? The Uber will be here at 6:45. I said, Miss Carly, can you give me a sleeping bag? I'm going to sleep out front.
Mm.
And I did. And I did. And I went and even on the ride from that city to here, I was still thinking that I was doing something wrong. I was still unsure about everything.
Mm.
Tell you why. Because I didn't know what was next.
Mm. Fear of the unknown.
hmm
But you was walking by faith.
Not by sight.
Mm.
Because I didn't know what life was anymore. I didn't know how to be normal. I didn't know how to be social. I didn't know nothing.
Yeah. You
I
really
didn't
what
know.
normal was, because really you kind of never lived a normal life.
No.
Mm.
But when I tell you the grass was greener on the other side, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that God gave me enough courage. He gave me a instant amount of strength that I needed at that moment. He gave me endurance to get through that night in that sleeping bag. Outside, it was cold. The day was December 1st. I left December 2nd,
Wow.
2021. And life has just been awesome for me. Do I still have highs and lows? Of course, right? We all do. We just, it's in our human nature. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, life has been everything that I ever wanted it to be. I got married. I became a chef. We adopted a baby. We have a beautiful home that we live in. I have freedom. I'm no longer in bondage.
Mm.
I'm free, and I can't do nothing but say, like, thank you, God, for real, because I'm free.
That's what they would say. How did you get? It was nothing but God. Like he does. I was like, it was nothing but God. He sends people. I heard somebody say that sometimes they believe that angels are on earth. Like we can be an angel to someone,
Yeah,
and helping. Yeah. And so one of the things that you are, I think that you do, and because you are a chef and you love to cook, I would love for you to talk about your upcoming Feed the Homeless event that you are about to have. What is it, May 17th, right?
yes.
Yeah,
So
tell us.
I have a nonprofit organization. It's Radical Blessings Incorporated. We are for the community, okay? We are helping people that people don't want to help, okay? We are helping the people that don't smell like us, don't look like
Mhm.
don't think like us. That's the people that we want to help. Okay. We are going to be feeding the homeless May 17th at 3 p.m. We're going to be going to several locations. So if people want to donate, they can call me. If people want to serve, I am open for anything.
Me.
Yes, I am open for all the help that we can get. This is something that my organization is going to do once a month.
That's awesome.
Yes.
You know, I got to tell people I love the volunteers, and you know one thing I love too, especially my youngest ones. They love doing things like this too. So I'm
That's
definitely bringing
good.
it on because they get mad at me when they know I walk. Because sometimes you don't won't be bothered with kids because you be moving around doing too much, right? So I'm gonna bring them one time so they can even experience because they loved it. I remember, like I said, I think I said this before, but the first time we ever did something like that, we were in Florida
Mhm.
and of course, I had to bring them with me, and we walked, and they absolutely loved it, and I think that is awesome. Now, also, what we did on the commercial, and you said that you are a chef. Can you please tell us a little bit about Danielle's Delicious Kitchen?
Well, let me just say this real quick.
Okay.
We are actually going to have hot meals. Now, most of the time when people go out to feed the homeless, they do like a sandwich or something like that. But we want to make sure that they have hot meals. Yes, I am a chef. Yes, I love to cook. What was your question again?
Tell us about your catering business.
Okay, so I started my catering business in 2024. I will say that catering is very hard. I love the food. I love the passion for it. I make delicious dishes. We are mobile. We come wherever you are. If you need me to serve, we're serving. We're not just cooking, but you have the full catering experience with Danielle's Delicious Kitchen. We also are very innovative. So we will, whatever it is that you desire to be on your menu, we work with what you want. So we also have food tastings. So if you want something, you're not sure, if you know, I got what it takes, just call me up. I'll make it up for you and you won't regret it.
Thank you. Now, I love to always ask my guests before they leave, do you have any gems you want to leave before we have to say goodbye?
So I do just want to say, for anybody who knows someone, or even if you just think someone is being human trafficked, there is a hotline for you guys to call. And so I'm just gonna quickly say the number. Hopefully you guys can, maybe if you're listening, and because we're live, you guys can put it in the chat. It's 1-888-373-7888. So even if you think somebody's being abused, you're not too sure, it's always better to be safe than sorry. And let me leave you with this. If you know somebody, don't be so direct when approaching them with the situation. Kind of get to know them. Ask them how their day is, how they're doing. You know, ease your way into the conversation. We can't always go through the front door, but we can sometimes go through the back. So
Mm,
that's my advice.
thank you so much. I love you, Danielle. And this is Connection for Life. And I will catch you next time. Mwah. All right, you all. I hope that was very informative. I hope that it helped you if you were judgmental or you thought your thoughts, right? Like me. I'm talking about me too. That she opened our eyes to see how it is in that lifestyle. All right. I'm your girl, Kasira Elvie. Make sure you tune in February 19th. Y'all, no show the next 2 Mondays, but February 19th. I mean, February 19th. May 19th. Y'all, I'm trying to go backwards, y'all. We get some warm weather. I'm sorry. But May 19th, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And our favorite, well, my favorite, you all, Khalid Scott, he will be on here and we're going to dive in about men in color and mental health. So if you got a brother out there that you know that is even thinking about, wanting to go to therapy or listen to a therapist and just see some of the things that are going on that you can relate to. Make sure you tune in, and I want you to please share. I'll catch you May 19th. I'm your girl, Kasira Elvie. This is The Truth Podcast, and I'm out. Peace out. Discover the perfect opportunity to promote your business, organization, or event with the Truth Podcast Show. If you're interested in expanding your reach and gaining more attention, we'd love to hear from you. To learn more and explore collaboration possibilities, please reach out to us at 708-250-5715 or email truthpodcastshow@gmail.com. Don't miss out on this chance to elevate your brand and connect with our engaging audience.